The one thing that we could do, the very small thing that we could do, is have a little bit of courage and decide that we are going to reinstitute this particular subcommittee, because unfortunately, I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today.
She can't even talk.
And just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country, to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in. And with that, I will yield.
Jasmine Crockett, she's very, very, very strong with the word salad. She does a lot of talking, but she does a lot of saying nothing. She talks for a long time. She gives a whole lot of stories. Honestly, I'm going to cut this video up. So by the time that you guys see it, you actually see the condensed version, because otherwise this video would be 3-4 minutes longer, 5 minutes longer, actually, because it's at the 5 minute and 1 second mark, because she said a whole lot of nothing that's basically tied to identity politics and don't have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. And honestly, I'm just genuinely tired of the race talk, the race baiting. Everything that she says is based off of race, or how much she hates Donald Trump, or what it is that ain't happening for black. I don't want to hear that. I mean, listen, the school of Umar Johnson and Kamala Harris is strong with this one. A whole lot of talking and ain't nothing being said at all.
Mr. Chairman.
Gentlelady's time's expired. Any member seek recognition?
Yes.
Mr. Higgins? Oh, Ms. Mace was first. I'm sorry. Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I don't know what's going on today. I find it extremely rich and offensive. So we're talking about civil rights. I'm the former ranking member on the Civil Rights Subcommittee, something I believe in civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. And we were talking about infringement of individual people. Also, quote, the right to privacy of individuals. Coming from a party that can't define what a woman is and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms. And it's so hypocritical for you to sit here and say and be, screaming from the rooftops about the right to privacy and civil rights when you don't respect women. And you don't respect women who've been raped, women who are victims of sexual abuse. And you want me, a victim of rape, a survivor of rape, to go into a locker room and be forced to undress in front of a man? You have to be effing kidding me. So I don't want to hear about you talk about rights, individual rights, civil rights, because you can't find the courage from the 60s to fight for women all around America, fight for women like me, every single woman. And as a rape survivor, I shouldn't have to explain to you why women have rights and why women, when we're in the bathroom, when we're in the locker room, when we're in a dressing room, why I don't feel safe when there is a man nearby.
So basically, what Nancy Mace is saying is, listen, miss me with the identity politics if you won't even acknowledge the thing that was happening way before any civil rights movement was happening, right? Miss me with all of the identity politics, because the minute that you then first, your party identifies what a woman is, we can start to clear the air and we won't have men inside of women, or biologically born men inside of women's bathrooms. I don't want to hear nothing until we get the foundation right.
And the fact that we're going here and we're going to say all these things is the ripeness of hypocrisy on the Hill. People need to tell the truth. And if we're going to talk about the rights of individuals, we have to talk about it. Everybody has rights, including women. And at some point, men are infringing on the rights of women. We just had it today. We just had a vote about protecting women and girls in sports. And I believe it wasn't one, it was two people from the Democrat Party who voted to protect women's rights in sports today. Two. So
So basically, she's calling him a hypocrite.
Mr. Chairman, this is a deeply offensive conversation to me today. We want to talk about real freedom. Women have freedom in this country. Women have the freedom to go to a private women's only space and not see a man in it. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender, we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies
She don't mess. Hey,
in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation, you're doing it in your messaging, you're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you.
Yeah, it's they never gonna get along. Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace are never going to be friends whatsoever, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it because I think that Nancy Mace is standing on a thing that is meaningful to most Americans, and that we used to look at that as a mental health issue. You know, that is a part of delusion. You thinking that you're something that you biologically aren't. And now, instead of us holding that accountable and trying to fix the issue while at the same time protecting women and protecting our culture, what we've done is we've aligned it and placed it in the same spaces as the civil rights movement, and it's been hijacked, and then ultimately people then can say whatever it is that they want to say because you can identify as whatever you want to identify as long as it's gender related. I can't identify as a billionaire, right? I can't identify as somebody that can come and slap you in your face and get away with it, but we can identify whatever it is that we want to identify as from a gender perspective, and we can cloak it under the guise of making sure that we secure rights for everybody, including the civil rights movement, but we don't want to protect our cultural norms and say that they shouldn't be inside of our bathrooms. And I've told that story multiple different times about how I was in the airport and I seen my daughter go into a bathroom, and then I see a guy go in right after, and I'm like, wait a minute. I think Nancy Mace is absolutely correct. And these clashes are going to continue, and they never gonna get along. And I want to know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, teach Henley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Peace.